Show, where it's a lot going on. We discuss music, drama, celebrity gossip, pop culture, and everything in the entertainment world.
That's how we already know.
Stay tuned right here as we spill the tea, sip some tea, all raw for your enjoyment. Now grab your cup and buckle up.
Ooh. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Armon, and we are back live in the studio. I'm here with another video. What's going on, everybody? I've missed you guys. It's been a couple of days, okay? I've had a lot going on, okay? I've been really busy, and honestly, I've been tired. And really, nothing has really been going on that I've been really interested in, honestly. Like, the gossip stuff is cool, but some of that stuff I really don't be caring about. And so I think I want to take the channel more in a music direction. So I was just trying to get my bearings and stuff with that. But anyway, we're here, we're live, we're talking about some things. You guys have been blowing me up about Lil' Kim's record, Nicki Minaj's Fendi record, the Cardi B record. So many people have been like, Armon, are you going to talk about it? Are you going to talk about it? Like, they all dropped records when, Nicki Minaj announced her Fendi record with PNB Rock. Then Lil' Kim came out, and then Cardi B and French Montana came out. And also, I posed the question today on my Instagram: is hip hop the new face, or are Hispanics the new face of hip hop? And you know what? I knew a lot of people were going to be upset and offended. I just wanted to know. It's for me. I don't have a strong opinion, like if it's right or wrong. It was just more of a question. If it is true, if you see it as such, then it is such. If you don't see it as such, then it's not. There's not a right or wrong answer to it, but I do want to have that conversation today. So later on, we are going to get into that as well. A lot of you guys had some things to say about that, and so we're gonna get into that. And then, so what my plan is to break these up into segments so people can go back and find them on the channel as they want to. All right, am I good? Do I got a little? All right, I think I'm good. Hold on. Okay, want to get this up. All right, I've been coughing and stuff. All right, y'all. So can you guys hear me good? All right. So let's just get into it. If you're a returning subscriber, then you know how this thing goes. And if you're new, welcome and hello. All right. So let's talk about these records that came out. So Nicki Minaj dropped the Fendi record, last Thursday or a week ago. And then Cardi B came to announce that her record would be released with French Montana that Friday, and then Lil' Kim dropped Friday, and then the Baby dropped his record, his album Friday. And I'll be honest with you. Let's just start with let's take the Baby out of it, okay? And let's just talk about the 3 records that were dropped. Well, I don't think that Cardi B announced it in spite of Nicki Minaj, because this is not Cardi B's record. So I don't think that that's what she did. I don't think she had a choice. I think that's when French Montana wanted the record to come out, and so that's when the record came out. Now, Lil' Kim, honestly, I don't know if Lil' Kim could have put it out, because I don't think Lil' Kim really had a time or a date where she was going to put it out. The record was ready. She probably was trying to figure out when was she going to release the record, and why wouldn't she release the record at the same time as Cardi B releasing and Nicki Minaj releasing. That would throw her into an algorithm. But since we are going to talk about Lil' Kim, let me go in on Lil' Kim for a second. Listen, everybody keeps talking about this Lil' Kim record, and we're so happy for Lil' Kim. Listen, I've said this time and time again. I don't get wooed or wowed over Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim does this every 2 years. She puts out a record, then she goes away. She's supposed to put out an album, but she never does it. Lil' Kim is not consistent. I don't care about any music that Lil' Kim is putting out, because she's going to set you up for a high and then drop you down. Lil' Kim is not the queen. Lil' Kim is the queen of a pump fake. Okay, that's what Lil' Kim is. Like, she's a pump faker. Okay, like she gives you a little bit of a taste, and then she wastes your time. Okay. Now, granted, I like the City Girls. You guys know how I feel about the City Girls. I like Young Miami, although I feel like Young Miami is getting tired. It's time for JT to get her ass out. But I did like Young Miami on the track. Listen, I didn't hate the record. I did say the record was trash originally. I don't hate the record. Although this record, the Found You record, I just feel like it's more of a go to the bar, get a drink, stand in line, and kind of bop to, or go to the bathroom, you know what I mean, and flirt, or maybe go have a cigarette. It's really not a moment for me to just stop everything I'm doing and run to the dance floor. Do you know, like, so that moment when you're at the bar or you're in the bathroom and your song drop, and you could be mid conversation with a person with bad breath that's super drunk, and they're really running down their life story to you, but you hear that beat and you like, bitch, that is my song. I gotta go to the dance floor. That'll be like, that would be me. You know what I mean? I wouldn't necessarily do that to that Lil' Kim song. I would do it for the iPhone song, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I just don't feel like Lil' Kim's song has that appeal. Okay. It's okay. It's a nice song, but what are we wooing? What are we wowing? We're just happy to see Lil' Kim's back. Great. Beautiful album cover. I think that's dope. I just don't think that it's going to do anything. It's not on any of the iTunes charts. So I don't think the song is going to really do much. Now this Fendi record with the Fendi promo with Nicki Minaj and Murder Beats and PNB Rock. Everybody knows that if you know me, then you know that I love PNB Rock and I love Nicki Minaj. So in my mind, this record was just like a freaking no-brainer. Like, this was going to be a phenomenal record. Like, oh my God, it's PNB Rock, it's Nicki Minaj. Like, I'm here for it. However, I don't like this record either. And I love Nicki, but I could do without this record. I was bored. Like, it didn't really do nothing for me. I don't like this record. I mean, it's not that I don't like it. I listened to it once and I listened to it twice because I know you guys wanted me to talk about it. But then, like, I'm forcing myself to listen to the record. I'm not sold on this record. I'm not into this record. I'm being real with you. I don't really like this record. But I love the artist on the record. But it's just, for me, I'm just kind of like, it's all right. Like, I can be a Nicki fan, but I'm not going to just blow farts out of her butt. Like, I got to be real. This record didn't move me. I love Nick. I love PNB Rock. But the record was whatever. Okay. And I find it funny that all Nicki's favorite songs are typically songs that I don't like, but I figured out why. It's because majority of the songs she's singing on it. I'm not into Nicki Minaj's singing. I'm not into it. I love Nicki. I just don't want to hear her sing. I'm really not into her singing. I'm not into her singing. Not really into her singing. I think that's what it is. Now, as far as Writing on the Wall, I listened to that song one time, and I understand it is doing well because Post Malone and this and that, but I don't like that. I don't listen to French Montana, the Cardi B. Now, I will say this though, Cardi B has stepped up her. She's been practicing. She's been practicing on her flow. But to me, I just don't know why. And I don't know how to say this. I just feel like even though Post Malone is great, I don't listen to Post Malone all the time. I haven't listened to his new album. People have been telling me to listen to it. I listened to his last album. I haven't listened to it. I got to get more into my male artists. I really listen to the females more, to be honest with you. I'm not even going to lie. However, I haven't really listened to Post Malone's album, but I know that he's a fan favorite. You know, a lot of people like Post Malone. So I'm assuming, with French Montana, Post Malone, what's the other Hispanic guy that's on the record? I don't even know his name because I don't listen to him. And then Cardi B, of course, that was a recipe for a slight number one song when it first came out. But to me, this song it's not a hip hop song. It has like a Latin reggaeton feel to it. I feel like a lot of people were speaking Spanish in the record. However, it was #1 when it first came out on the hip hop charts on iTunes. I really don't like that record. I'm not going to ever listen to it again. I know I'll be forced to hear it just if I listen to commercial radio, or if I go to the mall, or I'm just out and about. I'm sure I'm going to have to hear that song because it is a popular song. Right now, it's dropped off. It is #2 on the charts on iTunes right now in the hip hop rap category. Post Malone's he's got a #1 song on there right now. So before we get into the other topic at hand, the one song that I did like though is The Baby. First of all, I love, can I just can I just honestly say, I love this Kirk album from top to bottom. I love The Baby. I think The Baby is literally up next. I think The Baby is one of the hardest rappers in the game. I think that every male rapper should be afraid because The Baby really has bars. He got swag, and not to mention he's like ugly cute. I think the fact that he's like ugly, but the confidence and the way he talk and the raspiness, you know what I mean? Like if you a female and you know, like The Baby will make you feel like you could just get real nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like he got swag, like he got that vibrato, he got that delivery, like you just be like, okay, what you talking? All right, so and he's got the talent. Okay, so I'm here for him. I'm here for the album. And y'all were trying to kill me when I said, listen, Drake got to be worried. And listen, you do. I mean, I thought it was interesting that Drake follows The Baby, but The Baby don't follow Drake. I'm not trying to start them, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I think that The Baby is going to be here for a while. Is he Drake? No. Has he accomplished the things that Drake has accomplished? And no, he has not. But The Baby is new. But also, let's just be clear when it comes down to Drake. Drake is half singer, half rapper. Okay? So let's not even do that like Drake is just all rapper. It's literally a 50-50, and I really kind of sort of think that it's more of like a 65, what is it, 65-45 or 35, or how's that math go? Shoot. But anywho, let's talk about iPhone. iPhone is a banger. iPhone is that song that if you're talking to me and that phone come on, don't talk to me because I'm going to walk about your face. Okay? I'm going to walk about your face because I'm finna go F it up on the dance floor wherever I'm at. Period. iPhone, tell my bitch I love you. Okay? And, you know, not for nothing, iPhone was the highest charting song on The Baby's album thus far. So this is the thing that I want to say about people, and when it comes to Nicki Minaj, we always have this conversation. People love to discredit Nicki Minaj, but every time she gets on a record with somebody, no matter what it is, people get a surge in streams or whatever it is because people literally go to the record that Nicki Minaj is on and to listen to that first. Like, it doesn't matter. If Nicki Minaj is on anybody's album, the first song that majority of the people are going to listen to, I don't care who you are, they are going to go listen to the one with the Nicki Minaj feature, period. They're going to do that. So for those haters that love to sleep on Nicki Minaj, you guys are the same ones that go over there and listen to that too. Okay. So, and I like the fact that Nicki Minaj got up there and she knows The Baby is a rapper. He's a rapper's rapper. And so she went up there and she competed with him. Like, But the thing is this, why I like the baby. Now, this is why I got to keep it a stack with you. This is why I got to keep it a stack. Why I like the baby. Like, because Nicki Minaj did not body him on the record. I said she did, but after I listened to it over the weekend, she really didn't body him on the record. However, he didn't body her either. Like, she kept up. Now, the baby bodied Megan Thee Stallion on her record. Okay? Let's just keep it a stack. The one with Megan Thee Stallion and the baby, he bodied her, period. The record wouldn't be what it is if he wasn't on it. Okay? But Nicki Minaj did not get bodied on this record with the baby. But he didn't body, like, she didn't body him either. They kept up. And I like their energy together. And I like that, you know, I like that she rises to the occasion of the challenge. So I think it was pretty even. I like that Nicki Minaj. What I respect about her is she doesn't get a lot of respect as a female rapper, just because a lot of people put her against female rappers. And in my opinion, I don't really think that female rappers are even a conversation of being a competitor at this point. I don't even know why we still compare her to female rappers, because I think the bigger conversation is, honestly, she is better than a lot of male rappers. But I think that that's male ego. They don't want to admit that. That's like that, man. That's one thing I would say about men that's kind of trash. Like, y'all know that Nicki Minaj, like, is really better than, you know, half of all you male rappers. Like, they keep trying to put her against, like, people like Cardi and Lil Kim and stuff like that. That's old news. That's been buried, bodied. I don't care what the awards say, what this say, what that say. Nicki Minaj out raps them all day. Nicki Minaj, like, I've been telling you guys this for, I feel like years, but for months. Nicki Minaj out-rap Kanye, Jay-Z, Eminem. I mean, the biggest people that most people look up to. And I even feel like when she gets on records with Lil Wayne, she doesn't go as hard because she don't want to go there with Wayne. She just let Wayne just do it. But I feel like if she really wanted to, she could body Wayne if she wanted to. But she gives Wayne the respect. So whenever she get on the record with Wayne, she don't really do too much. But no, I was just saying that I love the iPhone record. Okay, I love that iPhone record. I didn't like the Fendi record, Nicki. I did not like the Fendi record. The Fendi record could go for me. Little Kim was okay. It's just the flow is just so stale. The flow is stale. And the writing on the wall, I'm going to be honest with you. And I think this is where we're going to go into our Latin thing. Like, you know, by no means am I here to offend anybody. But you know what? I realize that, you know, you cannot please everybody. Somebody's always going to be offended. So a lot of people were telling me, let's just talk about this for a second. So a lot of people were talking about, because I made a post on Instagram and I said, are Hispanics or is Hispanic or Latinos the new face of, you know, hip hop? And immediately people started saying, Post Malone is white. What's the name? Is African. He's Moroccan and whatever. Let me blow this picture up for you. Okay. So if you put in perspective the song that we listen to, if you heard the song, and the people that we're looking at, then damn it, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Ain't nobody on there black. And the song don't sound black. And at the end of the day, we know that it has a very much so a Latin undertone to the song. So, are we literally saying that Post Malone is Latino? No, we know Post Malone is white. But we also understand that this is, and whether French Montana is black, Moroccan, African, whatever, he's definitely racially ambiguous, and he can play more to the Latino Hispanic side than he does the black side. So it still stands what I'm saying. Okay, now y'all always trying to go and dissect it from the bottom. Listen, don't look so deep into exactly what's in the picture and understand the message. We know that there is an agenda being pushed, period. Now, if you're offended, then be offended, but it's not nothing to be offended about. It's just a conversation. And like I've been telling people for years, I live here in California. So I know when I go into the bar and I'm listening to a hip hop song and then all of a sudden they mix that with Selena, I'm like, what did that? How did we get here? So y'all not gonna play me like I'm tripping. Like I know what's like. Let's just be real. It's nothing wrong with it. Is what it is. But there's a lot of this conversation now, where Afro Latino is black and this and that, and see that's where it's like, okay, well. Let's just take away the Hispanic, the this, the that, whatever. Because it's getting too technical for people. So let's just talk about the fact that is hip hop changing into a more racially ambiguous culture, a more light-skinned culture, whatever race you decide you want to be that day? And the answer would be, in my opinion, yes. Everybody is getting lighter and lighter or more racially ambiguous if we just don't want to say Latin or Puerto Rican, or if we just don't want to say it. It is. It is. But so many people are afraid to just say it. No, motherfucker, I know that I don't look like none of them, and majority of the music that gets played around where I live has to have a Latin undertone to it, even when it's hip hop. I'm just speaking from my own experience. This is not something that I'm guessing. I go out. So, people are so hell bent on, Big Pun and I don't know who else, Fat Joe, and we're talking about the forefront. Big Pun, Fat Joe, we ain't none of them. Big Pun, first of all, is dead. Fat Joe is trying to get at the forefront by any means necessary, going on interviews, just saying stuff to get reposted on the blogs. So I'm talking about the forefront, okay? I don't care how long they've been around. I'm not saying that Latino people or racially ambiguous people or whatever people have not been contributors to hip hop or have not been around. But I'm saying today in 2019 going into 2020, it feels as though hip hop is leaning more to a more racially ambiguous kind of look. Let's just take the Latin out of it if people want to feel, if that's going to make people, feel some type of way. Post Malone is white. All his stuff is number one. Bad Baby is white. This is not a thing on Hispanic. It's just the fact that hip hop now, the thing that I guess the issue that I have is when black people do something that's not accepted, but it's like almost when people that are not black do something, it's more accepted. And it's like, why is it accepted for black people to do it, but it's not accepted I mean, why is it not accepted for black people to do it, but it's more accepted for other races to do it? Or if we don't want to do the race thing, light skin or lighter skin people do it. You know, that's really interesting to me. You know what I mean? It's like when it comes to the clothes, the fashion, black people wear a certain thing, it's ghetto. Armenian girl wear it, or a Puerto Rican girl wear it. It's sexy, it's fashion. I don't know. I think that that's interesting. You know, most clubs don't like hip hop music. If it's a lot of black people at the club, you can't play hip hop music. Now you go when it's a bunch of Mexicans. Oh, the Mexicans can dance to the hip hop all day long. I'm noticing that. And so a lot of people might get frustrated, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying what I noticed. I literally just went out this weekend, and you know, I live in California, so it's a melting pot, but we have a strong Hispanic base here. And I've told you guys this story before. I told you that I DJ'd a party at a rooftop party, right? And we played hip hop music. The lady told me that we could not go back and play it. I could not DJ at that function anymore because it was abusive to women, whatever. She's like this feminist activist, you know, it was too short. We was playing too short and all that kind of stuff. So she kind of felt like, you know, they degrade women, which was fine. I totally understand that, whatever. Literally the next weekend, it was like a Filipino DJ, and it was like majority Latin people there, and they was dancing to the Too Short, and it was all good. And I was like, where they do that at? And then so when I went to the club just this past weekend, it was only a couple of us black people in there. But then it was like it was just a bunch of different races. It was white, it was Asian, it was everybody but black. It was like a sprinkle of us black people in there. And they were just playing the hip hop like it was nothing, you know, whatever. But then it's like, I don't know, if it was a lot of black people in that club, they probably wouldn't play hip hop. But then they would mix the hip hop with the DJ would remix the hip hop with like Spanish. And I'm like, I don't want to hear this song in Spanish. I don't know. It's just something that I noticed. So I thought I just raised a question. I thought it was just seeing something here in California. But then I also noticed with this Cardi B writing on the Raw record, to me, I kind of felt like the baby just dropped his album. I kind of felt like maybe like that should have probably, I feel like one of the songs off his album probably should have went number one first. However, it's what people are listening to. It's what people are accustomed to. And I personally think that majority of people like this writing on the wall. And so that's why it was number one. That's why it was, you know, it did well. And if you look at, you know, what's popular now for hip hop culture, it's kind of like this Spanish kind of Afro Latin thing. And I feel like people are like not wanting to address that. Not that it's a problem, but could we just acknowledge that that's happening? Like, is that like, just as much as it's not a problem for it to be happening, I don't think it should be a problem for me to notice that it's happening. I don't need a whole history lesson from what happened in 1980. I'm talking about what's going on right now. Look, all the Latino people's mad at me. Listen, girl, it is what it is. You can be mad if you want to. We talk race here, honey. If I could talk about gay people, I could talk about transgender people, then Latino people, black people, white people, everybody is edible food, honey. If you can't take it, bye. Period. Bye. If I could talk about my own people, my own community, y'all can get it too. Period. We just get into some things. All right, so now y'all can call in and give your opinion on what y'all think. Now this is not a right or wrong answer, so you don't have to educate me because I know what I see every day. So this is not don't call in trying to educate me. You can give your opinion. I don't need to know. I don't need a history lesson because that's not going to change what I see and how I feel when I go out. It was a question. And so if you disagree, if you have an answer to the question, answer the question. It's either a yes or no thing, and you can say why. Okay? I just want to make that very clear because I don't care what your answer is. It's either yes or no and why. Okay? Let's get into some things. 917-7599. You're live on the air.
Hi.
Hi, what's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, how you doing? So, Cardi B is a black Latino in my eyes. I mean, what's the difference? Her complexion is just the same complexion as Beyonce, around that same complexion, and her hair is coarse. She's a black Latino. I don't know why people keep separating. Spanish is what you speak. It's not who you are. So she's a black Latino. So why do people separate her so much to say, well, she's not black, she's Hispanic?
You know what I think it is?
I don't get it.
Well, you know what? Okay, let's just go with the fact that that's true, because I don't want to argue that, because that's, like you said, that's your opinion. In my opinion, I don't think that Cardi B is black at all. Now, but that's neither here nor there. Here's the thing. I think.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Okay.
Can I ask you a question? Where did she get that coarse hair from?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I will tell you this. This is why when people go into, oh, I'm black and I'm black, I think that if you're black, then okay, be black. Like, I would accept Evelyn Lozada being black outside before I accept a Cardi B being black. Because my thing is this: when you're only black for, depending on like situations, when you're situationally black, if that's a thing, then I can't rock with you. Whenever I see Cardi B at home with her family, she's got her Latin, Dominican, it's all of that. She's never representing an African culture, a black culture. It's always a Hispanic Latin culture. Now, when she want to get ghetto and ratchet and say nigga, then she's black. But when it comes to really repping the culture and the music and doing all that, when you see her live streams, she's always got the Hispanic music playing in the background and she's talking Spanish.
Can I say something?
So my thing is this: don't pick and choose when you be black and when it's convenient for you, or when you want to say the word nigga.
Well, wait a minute. I can agree to disagree. What is exactly being black? I mean, she is born, just like if somebody is born in the Caribbean, they're born in Jamaica, they're born in the Caribbean, they're going to represent, that's their culture, but that doesn't separate them from being black. I mean, that just because she's playing Latin music, that's her culture, that's where she's from. If I put it, there's a lot of people that look like you that live in, and I'm not Hispanic. I'm not Hispanic at all. So I'm saying there are a lot of people who look with your complexion, your hair texture, that are from DR, that are from Puerto Rico, that are from Cuba. Are they now not black because they listen to Spanish music and that's their culture and that's where they live?
I mean,
and
I
that's
understand like Armon La Negra is like, she's clearly black, like her skin is clearly dark, but to try to make it as if like she's like a black like, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't black, like you're not black, you're not African American, you're not black, you're not, you know what I mean? Your skin is dark.
But African American is just that we are our ancestors are African, and that still holds true for Hispanics. A lot of their ancestors, not all Hispanics, but a lot of their ancestors are African. So now they don't have the title. They don't have the right to say they're African because they speak a different language. I mean, there are plenty of people who live in France who are black who look like Cardi B, but does that now make them not black because they weren't born in America? I mean, that's.
I understand what you're saying, but to me, when I think of what I mean or what I'm trying to, I guess, say, I'm not really going as far as like literally the color of your skin, because there's some black people that look white, but that they black. There's albino
Absolutely.
people
And
that are black.
Cardi B has expressed several times, and I'm not picking sides. I'm not this huge, I'm just saying, like.
Well, like,
Cardi
you know what
B
I'm saying,
has
but
said
like there
several
are
times, I'm
people,
Afro-Latino.
there are people that are like got a quarter black in them, right? And then maybe the rest of them is like white, but they are still considered black. You know what I'm saying? Like, like really African. Like, I understand what you're saying, and like, listen, I can agree to disagree with you because, like I said, this is your opinion. For me, I just feel like it's harder for me to accept her as being, black, because it's like it's black when it's convenient. It's really not black for you never see her speaking out on anything during Black History Month. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't show any kind of black or African heritage. Like, she doesn't show any kind of appreciation for anything black. Outside the fact that she like black men.
Several times.
And I've never seen it, so maybe.
I think she's expressed several times that she is a black Latino. I do think that she talks about black causes. I just think that a lot of people who don't like her don't listen to that. Now, as I said, there's certain things. No.
Okay, no, look, so let's get off Cardi B for a second. People were dragging me, saying that. French Montana is Moroccan, this, that, and the third. Listen, that man do not look black. So whether he's black or not, he's racially ambiguous. Like, black people, we really have to stop. If anybody is, just because they got a little brown in them, we have to stop giving them the title that they're black, because then what ends up happening is they end up moving into these spaces that were built for us or that we could possibly dwell in, but because they have a lighter skin and we're like, yeah, they're black. Well, guess what happens? Well, when you just need to have that black person on paper, well, then if it's me standing there, or if it's the Cardi B, or if it's the Moroccan black, guess who they're going to choose? The Cardi B or the Moroccan black, not the black African American. But you know why? Because we've given everybody the card to be black. No matter what. Everybody's black now. So guess who gets moved out of the way? Guess who gets moved out of the way? The real black people.
I can agree with you in some way, but I would say this. If no one was embracing our culture, we would have a problem with that. Oh, nobody wants to embrace our culture. Now that you have different people of different ethnicities embracing the black culture, they love it. They sort of emulate us in a way. Then we have a problem with that. It's like there's not a win-win here. When they're not embracing it, if they have something derogatory to say, or there's something, that they're saying that we don't necessarily agree with, then they're the bad guys. If they embrace our culture, they're still the bad guys. I mean, I understand, and what you're saying has some truth to it, in my opinion, but, it's, hip hop is just not exclusive to black people. A lot of the people who purchase rap music are Caucasians.
But no one is saying that. I'm just trying to make it very clear that black people like that look like my skin complexion. We need to really stand up and be, because if you have a black person like Cardi B and a black person like freaking French Montana and a black person like me, and we all going for the same job, I can guarantee you who's not going to get the job. It's the black person like me. So, but us as black people, we're just so willingly giving our culture. Everybody's black, and we're not realizing that hurts the people that are darker complected black people. Because if
Right.
people can just be like, you know what, all we need is a black person on paper. Oh, well, he's Moroccan. Well, she's Puerto Rican, so she's technically black. So let's just book her. We don't really need the black nigga. Like, come on, y'all. Like, let's really wake up.
Listen, there is some merit to what you're saying. I do understand that there are Dominicans and there are Puerto Ricans who do not embrace the black culture and are almost insulted if you call them black.
Right.
So I listen, I totally understand. And that makes me really upset when I hear someone that is Latino, especially a black Latino, say, I'm not black. I'm Hispanic or I'm Spanish. And, so it is upsetting to me. And I do understand where you come from. So we can agree to disagree. My niece told me about your channel. I decided I would chime in and,
But this is good. These topics, these topics are really, really sensitive. But I'm glad that you came in, because you're not supposed to agree with me. And so, I'm glad that you were able to call in and give your opinion. And so that's.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I like that you have people of all genres and ages, and I'm a mother of 2 grown children, so she told me about you. She's like, yes, and why don't you just try? And I said, okay, I'll chime in. So thank you for
and
that.
Call in again. Listen, some days you might want to unsubscribe from me. You might hate my guts, but listen, it's just what it is. I still love you guys all for watching and taking the time to, spend your time here with me, because there's a million people that you can be watching or, spending your time with. So I appreciate you.
All right. Thank
you. Bye. Yeah, I love everybody. Listen, even when we disagree, we're not going to agree, I'm sure Miriam is somewhere kicking my head in right now, but Miriam know what I'm talking about because she got black kids. All right. Miriam, that's my moderator. She's Puerto Rican, so she probably is over me right now. Hey, girl. I love you, though. 201-2820. You're live on the air. Hold on.
Hey, Armon.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, sweetie. So I just wanted to come in really quick. I definitely don't agree with the last caller. Like, I'm just over a lot of people now wanting to be Afro-Latino. I think it's just a marketing strategy, if you ask me, because I recall Cardi years ago, before she actually became famous, calling African-American girls roaches. And I'm from the North, and not even the North, all over. I know how it goes when it comes to Hispanics. The first thing they do is call you a monkey. The first thing they do is call you a cockroach. It's kind of like they never identify with their African roots. Like, how long we've been having the internet, you cannot just... Who are telling them they're Afro-Latino? It can't be their parents, because if that was the case, they would have been claiming that. Mm-hmm. It is when it's convenient for them, they're Afro-Latino. And I'm not racist or anything. I am African American, and I went to school with a lot of Hispanics and things like that. And there was a separation. I mean, and it's making it difficult for us to move up. My job is mostly Hispanics. Who do they show so much favoritism? Is really sad. But when shit happens to them, they expect for Black people to stand up and fight for them. But when it's vice versa, we're in our own field. Now, as far as the music, it's like everybody's jumping on this Afro. I don't know if it's the Afro beats and everything. It's just a trend. And I think to blame, is the men, the rappers, because they're opening up the doors for a lot of Latin people to come into our space and just take over when they're just thinking about money. But people like us, who's actually seeing what's really going on, it's affecting us, not just in music. I'm talking about in jobs, everyday basis. It's affecting us in a lot of ways, because now it's like they're just coming in our space and we can't go to the Latin club. I still feel out of place when I go to Latin clubs.
Well, hold on. You have a point there. Hold on. I'm going to get to that. Talks with Queen J. Send your last 4 so we can get it. But like you said, we can't go to the Latin clubs. Or then when we go there, like, I'll just be honest with you. I don't want to hear that all night.
Right. it's not what I came to hear, and no shade. You know what I mean? Like, no, it's just no shade. But
let me tell you where I feel like I think that you hit it on the head when you said it came from the men, because a lot of the men, and when I say the men, I mean the heterosexual men of power that may that may be the African American heterosexual men of power. They see Hispanic women or Hispanic culture, and they see lighter women as more desirable.
Correct.
It's just what it is.
Correct.
And so that pushes the narrative throughout the whole culture. Music, this, that.
Exactly, because they're uplifting their counterparts. Mm-hmm. So they're uplifting the Latin women, and they're opening the door for them. So, once the women coming in, the men are like, okay, it's easier for them to swim in. I've observed, I'm not just talking out the side of my mouth, right? Mm-hmm. I do feel like we need to take charge of our culture, take back what's ours. I mean, I'm not saying just ban every person that is sitting up there talking about rap. Like, I'm not trying to start a riot, but certain things I'm not comfortable with. I'm
like,
still
my thing is this. It's like, my thing is this. Everybody can be who they want to be in their spaces, but let us be allowed to have the conversation and acknowledge it. And then two, when people like Fat Joe is trying to tell me that Latinos are black, like, stop playing with me. Like,
no, Fat Joe, because you know what? No, yeah, he was capping for Cardi, because he see what's going on. They see the internet. They see what's the topic. They see what's going on. The whole thing with Evelyn. They see what's going on. They're not stupid. So I do remember Fat Joe long ago saying, I remember when I thought I was black. I didn't even know that I was Puerto Rican.
See, now people keep thinking that I'm saying, but people keep thinking that we're meaning literally the color of their skin. We understand that Latinos can be. Yes. I'm not talking about the color, because there's white black people, like there's albino black people.
Exactly.
But y'all know I don't mean literally black, because there's nobody literally black at this point, to be real. But we're mean, like, culturally, are they black?
No, they are not. Culturally, they're Hispanic. And they, like you said, every time you listen to Cardi, and there's no hate. There's not a hate train with Cardi. Everybody fucks with Cardi. I mean, it is what it is. But at the same time, let's stop playing. Like, nobody's stupid here. We all know when Cardi came up, she's Dominican, and there's nothing wrong with being Dominican. But don't try to come up over here and say that she's trying to say that she's African American culturally, and she's not. When they're in New York, I'm from Jersey, and I hang out in New York. I got family still at home. When you're up north, a lot of people from up north, when they become famous, they try to say things like, oh, in New York, we are cool. No, we're not. We're not cool. There's a separation. Like, if you're Spanish, you're Spanish. If you're black, you're black. And I just want people to stop trying to make it seem like we're all one when we're not. Because people like Cardi B and Fat Joe and people like a J-Lo, they're making it harder for actual black artists, to actually make it. And that's the truth. That's what's really going on. So, Armon, I get what you're saying.
And it's nothing to take away from it's nothing. I'm not trying to take anything away from Hispanic people, but just like we can acknowledge that the bad babies of the world are coming up, we need to acknowledge that. Like, I guess it starts to make sense to me when a person tells me that I can't play hip hop music, but Latin people can play hip hop music, then it's okay. And to me, with this song, it just was shocking to me that there were no black people in this record, and this record went #1 on iTunes. You know what I mean? And it sounded like a Latin reggaeton record, but it went #1 in the hip hop genre. So I'm just like,
that's crazy.
That's interesting to me.
That's crazy. It is, and I blame the men. If you're listening, I blame the men, okay? Because everything is fine when it comes to black men. It's like we're the only ones who sitting up there saying what's really going on, and all they care about, I feel like, is some money. That's what I feel like, because they don't even care. They just throwing the whole culture away. And at this point, I don't even know what's hip-hop anymore, to be honest, because I know my uncles and my mother and aunts that was born in the 80s, what hip-hop was about. And yeah, they say it started with Hispanics and blacks, but Hispanics come from blacks. So to be honest, they're going to follow what we do, and that's no shade. But to me, it started with blacks. I just started hearing it started with Hispanics. I mean, I guess, but it started with blacks. Hopefully it ends with African Americans, because that's our struggle. Hispanics have a totally different struggle, and that's another story. They have a totally different struggle from African Americans, and we paved the way. And I think hip hop was an outlet from us. And yes, we are passionate about it because we feel like people is in our space, and I think we have a right to be like that. So
Thank you,
shout out
caller.
to your mind, shout out to you.
All right, bye.
All right, baby.
So, I mean, because you have to also think, if nobody's going to, here's the thing. I'm not here to offend people, but listen, if black people don't speak, there's a lot of black people that are giving, but there's not a lot of black people that are bringing the attention like, hey, I'm noticing this is interesting. If we just sit away and just give away our whole culture to everything, or just sit away silently, I mean, it's fine. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But, I mean, at least I'm going to let people know that I see what's going on here. Does not mean that I dislike any persons. You know what I mean? Life is short. We're all going to die one day. So I love everybody. I like who like me. But I'm just saying, I understand also what's happening here. Okay. All right. What's the last four of her number? Let's take that number. Oh, and while I'm looking for the last four of that lady's number who super chatted, I want to give a shout out to We Love Kamiko. I think that's her name. Okay, listen. So she's an artist. She booked a session with me on our website, and she wanted me to listen to her song. And I listened to her song, and I was pleasantly surprised. I actually liked her music. And so I started that because there's so many people that want me to listen to their music on a daily basis and shout them out. But I personally just cannot do it. But I took the time, she booked it, and I listened to her song. I want you guys to check it out. She sounds like a Kelly Rowland mixed with a Lady Gaga vibe. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like a pop, dance, electronica music, which is really, really interesting. And so I like it. I think it's good. The link will be in the description box. Make sure you guys check her out. We talked. I want her to get on social media more. She's a 22-year-old girl from New York. And she's doing her thing, and she sounds good, and I'm here for her. And so I just want to let her know that I was going to shout her out because I'm proud of her, and her music sounded good. And I'm happy that she invested in her craft, and she was actually good at what she does. So you guys should check her music out. And I've posted her on my Instagram channel as well. And if you guys would like to book a listening session, you can do so at thearmonwigginshow.com. All right. What's that number? Okay. Um, 9189. Okay, 813-9189. You're live on the air.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Okay, so I just want to tell you that I love your show, and I'm glad that this topic came up. And I want to tell you, I live in Tampa, Florida, and I find myself having debates, not arguments, but debates on Cardi B on a regular basis with other black women and men on my timeline all the time. And it's like black women want Cardi B to be black so bad, and I don't understand why they want to be associated with somebody who acts the way she does and does the things that she does. Mm-hmm. Also, why is it okay for Afro Latinas, quote unquote, when they want to be? Why is it okay for them to be black today but Latina tomorrow? Why is it okay for them to call us roaches? Us black folks, we don't call each other roaches. We don't call each other monkeys. Real black people, black Americans, we don't do shit like that. So that's how you know they're not a black American, because we don't do that. Mm-hmm. We don't do that to each other. We call each other midnight black, but not no roach.
Yeah.
Like, we don't do that. So it's just like, and then with J-Lo, if you watch anything behind the music of J-Lo, she stole her vocals from Christina Milian, Brandy, and Ashanti. She's a fraud. She dipped in and out of blackness as well. And when she first came out, she was hip hop with Ja Rule. Then she married Ben Affleck, and then she's been on the white side for the longest. She comes back when she wants to. It's like, how come it's okay for everybody else? Every other race can dip in and out of our culture, but we have to just stay in our culture and just be ghetto and black and hip hop and nothing else.
Listen, child, I'm letting y'all talk because I said what I said. I just, because I don't want people to start thinking that this was that conversation. This was like I posted it on my timeline and everybody had opinions, so I wanted to get into it. You know how I feel about the situation. I don't see that there's anything wrong with it, but I also feel like I want to acknowledge that I noticed it. That it is a thing, and I think that people don't want us to acknowledge that it's happening though.
That's something wrong, Armon. Us being erased, our color, our chocolatiness, our brownness being erased, that's something wrong. That's not okay. That's an issue, and it should be an issue for more black people. But all they think about is, oh, this is a bop, this is a bop. Okay, this is a bop your way all the way to, you don't even see yourself on TV anymore. But
well, saying, okay. Just like, but I mean, it goes just like when you're on these charts, these hip hop charts, and the number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 spots, they're not black. And then let's just first take off the black, because people are gonna make this about a race thing. They're not dark skinned. Right. They're not brown skinned. Right. Like let's just take the ethnicity out of it. Let's just say if it was just black people in general. Like, you don't understand that brown is being erased? Like dark brown.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's being replaced. Yeah. And now, because at one point it was just light skin. But now it's almost to the point where it's racially ambiguous. And the new light skin is literally Afro-Latina. That's the new light skin.
Yep. But it's like now everybody wants to associate their Hispanicness or their Latino or Latinaness with their blackness now because it's popular and it's in now. You ain't never heard Evelyn Lozado ever say she was Afro-Latina. She always said Puerto Rican.
To be honest with you, I always thought she was black. I always thought Evelyn was black.
I always thought she was a Puerto Rican because that's all she rapped was Puerto Rican. But you can tell who is Hispanic of African American culture and who is not. Cardi B is not, like you would say, an Evelyn Lozado and a Fat Joe is. But yes. Cardi B is not. She listens to her whatever kind of music. And like we should have a black test. How about we come up with a black test and we send everybody through the test, and if they don't pass the test, they can't come to the barbecue.
Okay, thank you, Carla. We got to take another call. Thank you, love.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, 322 Pop Culture Guru. We are going to take you. Hold on, let me refresh my system because I'm having a delay. Give me 1 second. Hold on, y'all. This is a heavy topic.
Start your show now. Press 1.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
Okay, 3225. Okay. Hold on. Uh-oh. Pop Culture Guru?
Hello?
Yes, you're live on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So I have a couple things to say. I actually think this is a really interesting topic concerning like race and like the music industry. But I absolutely do, for the most part, agree with you on that there is this like, it's interesting how it's like black, okay, let's say phenotypically or people, darker skinned black folks do have to fight to win within their genre of music, but like other races of people are allowed to be in and win. And so like I like to use, because I'm obsessed with, you know, music and pop culture and stuff, I like to use, for instance, like award shows to see, because like them or not, they are the standard and the merit that we use to assign excellence and stuff. So like I like to use the Grammys. So like I think the Grammys are whatever, but I think that they do prefer black music by non-black people. So,
Absolutely.
Like, so, for instance,
Bruno
I
Mars.
love Iggy.
Go ahead.
I love Iggy. I love Bruno Mars, but it's like Iggy Azalea Fancy came out. She got 7 nominations in the rap category, in the pop category, in the song of the year. And it's like, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But, like, why can't a darker skin? Like, I remember when Anaconda came out, the only nomination it got was rap song. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But it's like, that had the same amount of success as Anaconda, as Fancy, and just other people. It's like darker skin or black artists have to fight to succeed within their own genre of music. And it's just very interesting how, like, Post Malone, he could be nominated in the pop category, in the rap category. White artists in general, they get to be everything, but black artists, even like Beyonce, especially with her more recent music, she's put in, and Rihanna, she's put in the urban contemporary, whatever the hell that means. Mm-hmm. She's put, basically, you're black, but you're too black, so we're not going to put you in the pop category. You know, Rihanna gets put in the urban contemporary, but Bruno Mars gets put in pop. Mm-hmm. And in my brain, I look at them all as pop stars. So I definitely see, like, if you are phenotypically black, you will always be put segregated in the black category. Even Drake is, even as light as he is, when his stuff goes to Grammy, they put his black ass in the rap. He don't get nominated for best pop song and stuff like that, because it's very interesting. But even like, in the fact that we're even having this conversation about, is Cardi B or French Montana, what are they? That is privilege. The fact that you can go into a meeting or a room and have people sitting, what are you? That's privilege. Because me, as a darker skinned black man, you darker skinned black women, they don't get that. Like,
we don't
what
get
are you?
that.
They get
you're black. Period.
They get you're black. So we're gonna maybe like check myself, because if you say someone like Lizzo, like, I don't really consider Lizzo to be a rapper. I mean, I know she's the 6th female rapper to have her #1, but
to me, she's not a female rapper.
Exactly. I look at her as more of a pop act, like a Beyonce,
she's more of a performer.
You know?
Like, she's an overall. Like, I feel like, to be honest with you, to classify Lizzo as just a rapper is kind of like insulting. If I was her, I'd be insulted. Like, I think she's bigger than that. I think she's more than that. She's an overall artist.
Yeah,
to me.
And I don't want to say it's insulting, because I don't think that it's something bad to be a rapper. But I just feel like it's interesting how, like, when you are a black artist, you're only allowed to do rap. You're not allowed to be an international superstar. Almost, it's like, you know. And it's interesting. Like, if you take, like, I keep up with, like, the Grammys and the awards, so, like, the nomination's gonna come soon. And if you take Ariana Grande's, like, 7 Rings, which is a pop song that has some rap, I bet you that Ariana Grande's song 7 Rings will be nominated in the rap category and in the pop category.
Yes. Or the R&B category as well. Yeah.
Exactly. But if Ariana was black, and I know some people like to joke and say she is, but I mean, like, if she was a black artist, like, actually black, that song would have stayed in the goddamn rap category. And it's just I just feel like it's unfair that, like, you know, all these, like, Cardi B and French Montana, they get these big budgets, and they get these big budgets in black culture and, like, black spaces, but someone like Normani has to, like, work 10 times as hard to get half the budget, you know. And the only reason she did that is because she worked with fucking Stan Smith, you know. Like if you look at Camila Cabello, like, she got a big budget up front,
and she's nowhere near as talented as Normani.
Normani. So it's like, I mean,
but you remember, but let's just even, but I mean, they even made Camila Cabello the face, even though Normani could have been the lead singer of that group. Period.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that, yes, but it's easier, it's marketable. It's so easy to market
Camila Cabello.
Ambiguous. You know, it's very easy. You know, she has Havana. You know, that's the song. That's her song, Havana.
That's Latin.
It's easier to market her to do Latin pop. But you can't, it's very, very, very hard to market Normani as a global superstar. Even like Beyonce, Rihanna, like, they are lighter skinned. Yes, even then, Nicki, they even though they're super successful, they probably had to fight and push and do all these improve themselves. It's like if you're black, you don't get the privilege of being mediocre. You have to be super talented. And even we as black people, we love saying, "Oh, we want talent, we want talent, we want talent." But then the same breath, when Cardi B comes into the context, then the same black people who are very hypercritical of Normani will say, "Well, Cardi B don't need no talent. Oh, she has pretty dresses and her videos are gorgeous." But when it's our own people, we'll say, "Oh, girl, we need talent. We need talent." But when it's other races of people, "Oh, girl, well, stop being a hater." And it's not, we're not being a hater. It's just like, why are we expecting so much from our own? But when other people are in our genres, it's a bop. And it's fine. Music is music. I like a lot of Cardi music. I like a lot of all music. But it's just saying, it's just like, it's so unfair that black artists, particularly black women, they get pigeonholed in like a 4x4 box.
Yes.
Of like what they're allowed to do, what the budget they get. It's just, I just feel like it's very unfair.
Yeah, it is specific. Black women get that a lot.
You know, and so that's why, like, I'm happy that, you know, now, like, for a while it was just Rihanna and Beyonce. So it is nice to see Lizzo and other people. And also, quickly, what I wanted to say is I know that Cardi B is not considered black because the way that we treat Banks. So Azealia Banks and Cardi B, in my opinion, are the same people on a different side of the.
His call is breaking up. Something. So caller, your call dropped. But he was speaking some facts. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay. Hold it right here. Hold it right here. Let me drop a Hold on. Let me give you guys some theme music real quick. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, everybody. We are back. All right, I'm back. All right. Oh. Okay, so let's get into some things. All right, let me see. Lisa. I'm trying to pull you up. Okay, let me see. 3016. Okay. 3016, you are live on the air.
Hey, Armon, how you doing, honey?
What's going on, boo?
Honey, nothing at all. Let me tell you something. You know, I'm a woman of a certain age.
Okay.
So I have seen this happen many a time. Okay, I grew up when MTV first hit the airwaves. I was a teenager. I was 13.
Ooh.
And it's been this way from day one. Okay, you can even go back before then. Elvis Presley stole all of our music before then. You know, the Everly Brothers, all these people way back in the 50s, they would re-record our music, and our music couldn't get any radio play nor any, you know, you couldn't get album contracts or whatever. That's why Motown came about. You want to bring it all the way through the 60s, bring it up through the 70s where they stole jazz from us, bring it to the 80s where Kenny G was all of a sudden the best jazz artist out there. Are you serious right now? Like, that's not even right. You want to bring it up to even up to Michael Jackson. The only reason why Michael Jackson was, accepted more than Prince, who was, not for nothing, the better musician, let's just be real, is because he could cross over and do all these duets with white folks, okay? He was the king of pop because he was so light-skinned or bleached his skin at the end of it, or Zolog, or whatever you want to say. But because of that crossover, then we didn't have, y'all may not remember, but we didn't even have a rap category. We didn't have rap, hip-hop, none of that. You had R&B, and that was it for us, and gospel. So when the white artists would come over and cross over and sing R&B, all of a sudden they were just like it is now with hip-hop. So the problem is that we typically, I'm glad to see this conversation with your generation happening, because you guys are like, no, we're not going to let this just go by the wayside. We're not going to continue to allow you to steal the music of our struggle. This is the struggle of our people.
Yes.
And culturally, the reason we are not allowed, we need to start just, instead of saying black, how about ADOS? American Descendants of Slaves.
Okay.
Then we could just cut all of it. Because y'all didn't come over here as slaves. We did. And the reason why we're always continually pushed to the back is because we came over here as slaves. Period, point blank. But when I was growing up, Puerto Ricans we always said they were black Hispanics, because Mexicans at that time, typically, they came from Spain, okay? Puerto Ricans had enough of the Caribbean, African descent in them that they were not accepted amongst their own people. So all the time I'm growing up, Puerto Ricans, we just considered them black folks. They were just black folks. That's why you have your Evelyn Lozado, because she just grew up with black folks. Now, she reps Puerto Rican, but we always accepted them. So there's a lot of just cultural, just in general, cultural differences or cultural appropriation, but this is nothing new. This has happened from the beginning of time. I mean, way back when Bo Derek comes out in that movie 10, way back in the 80s, John. Y'all don't know nothing about that. But then all of a sudden, cornrows, now this was the main thing, right?
And then when Kim Kardashian said that she has Bo Derek braids in because Bo Derek put the cornrows in his hair, or whoever Bo Derek is.
Yes.
But you know what?
Yes,
when you brought up
MTV,
or white woman, but when you brought up the MTV, I couldn't help but think about 106 in Park when they got rid of AJ and Free. They added Terrence J, but they were filling in. But like the whole time they had like Roxy kind of sitting in like the audience, like through the whole. They were trying to introduce us to this like Latina woman the whole time, like they were like they were slowly moving like. Freeing AJ out and introducing Roxy. And I was like, this is so interesting. Then she became one of the permanent hosts.
Exactly. But and I'm not just going to disagree with you on, the black male, the heterosexual black male influence. But let's all keep it a stack. It's not us that owns the major record labels. We don't own them. So, Caucasian people, they are running our music. So when they see, here's a whole huge market that we can market to, and that's palpable to white folks, and we can say it's palpable to black folks, because black folks are quick to say, they have melanin in their skin. You don't have as much as me. But they have melanin in their skin, so they can make it cross over across all racial boundaries and make the most money. It's whoever they can make the most money with, period. That's it. So we have to, I love the independence. I love the fact that we're out here doing our own thing. But we got to continue to support it. And I'm really glad that you're having this conversation, because I feel like there's hope. Your generation is like, we're not going to have it. We're not no.
Yeah, but it's a larger fight. Because when I looked at this, when I'm just looking at these hip hop charts and these music charts, I'm seeing less and less brown people. And I'm seeing more like darker skin brown. I'm seeing more racially ambiguous and more Hispanic, more white. And it's like, oh, so this is hip hop now? Like this is and this is like the hip hop that's accepted. It's more like of a commercial hip hop. You know, it's like I've said before, Bruno Mars could make a record and Chris Brown could make the same record, but Bruno Mars is gonna win 4 Grammys for it, and Chris Brown won't even get nominated for the same song.
Exactly. For the same song. But we're gonna continue to be relegated. I'll put it to you like this. As long as we're expecting other races to give us validation and not validating ourselves, this is what we're going to get. I don't even watch the Grammys anymore. It doesn't make any. I don't care. I mean, it's great, but I don't care. I'm not looking for validation anymore outside of my own people. Period. So we have to stop saying if we stop buying, if we stop listening, if we start saying to the Breakfast Club and all these other folks, no, we don't want to hear that. That's not what we want to hear. We have to take our own music back, and it's a loss, its own struggle. While I commend Cardi, you and I have had this conversation. I'm not a Cardi hater at all. I commend her. She came up, from being a stripper to being what she is now.
Right.
She has her own struggle, but I'm sick and tired of hearing about the stripper struggle.
Right.
I mean, can we talk about the struggle in the hood? Let's talk about the struggle in the hood. The stripper struggle, okay, whatever. It is what it is. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about your red bottoms that I helped you buy.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Right.
And you think because you married a black man and you had a black child that now that qualifies you as being black.
Or you lived in a hood and you have majority black friends that you're black. That does not make you black.
Does not make you black, baby. Does not make you black. And, people like me that are relatively light-skinned and have gone to college and done all these things, and my own people, I'm too white for my own people and too black for the white people. I'm the one that can't find a spot to fit in, but you're going to accept somebody just because they lived in a hood and they stripped at the same club you did, and all of a sudden now they're accepted, now they're black? Well, come on now, we got to start loving ourselves before anything else.
But it doesn't help when you have people like Fat Joe going up there and say Latinos are black, because so what is that saying about we already live in a world where they don't want black people to even really be here. So if you're going to say, oh, Latinos are black, okay, well, that's a black people that we can accept. That's a less threatening black person. So we'll just give them all the black jobs. We'll fit the Latinos in all the black spaces because we don't want the African American black. So if the Latinos are black too, well, we would prefer that kind of black over, a darker skinned African American black. And that's why I'm like, no, I'm not going for that.
No, exactly. But still to this day, a darker skinned African American, if you know this, you're still looked at. You walk down the street, people of certain races still kind of move over to the side.
Right.
Or they might clutch their purse a little bit more or whatever, because black people are still looked at. If right now, if somebody were to hear me talking right now and, we just talking, they would say I'm an angry black woman.
Right.
I raise my voice or I get passionate about something, I'm the angry black woman. Black people are still looked upon as somehow threatening, aggressive. They're still looked upon, we are still looked upon as somewhat animalistic. That's why when people like President Obama come up and speak, oh, he's so articulate. What, black folks don't know how to use the English language? Like, what are you saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's not a threatening black person. Well, what are you talking about? So that's why we.
But I don't do the political talk. But even when we got into that, and everybody like Obama's the first black president, and then everybody was going up for Kamala Harris. I'm like, them people, yes, they black, but that's not black. Where's the black president?
No.
Where's the black presidential candidate?
Kamala definitely ain't black.
That lady look white.
In the jail quicker. She's Indian, like Eastern Indian. Her father, I want to say, is Jamaican.
Y'all gonna quit playing with me.
But she has never identified black until she needed to give votes.
Right.
So, but if we're going to get back to the music, right?
Yes.
So, you get the white folks that come up, and then we get our people that prop up people like Iggy and all of that. We prop them up and whatever. Okay, it's cutesy, but come on now. And you always talking about Lizzo. She's not a rapper.
No.
She's not a rapper. She is a pop artist. Give that girl her due. Don't try to put her in the same box you put us in to bring us over here.
Right.
That's my point. Cut it out. That girl is a fantastic artist, period.
Overall.
So don't try to put her in. Overall, don't pigeonhole her as black. Don't pigeonhole her as R&B. And why do we have to be identified as any one thing when every other race can go across the board? We're the only ones that have to stay in our lane, and that's historically because we were brought in a lane. But
all
y'all,
right.
I think your generation will break it.
Lisa, are you off of work?
Yeah, I left work.
Okay, I'll call you later when I get off here. Okay, we have to talk.
No.
All right, thank you, love. I got to take another call.
All right.
All right.
All
Okay,
right.
6608, you're live on the air. Virtuous Beauty.
Good evening, Armon. How are you doing, sweetie?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine, my love. Listen, I had to take a breather. Armon, I'm so mad right now.
Okay.
I'm so mad.
Why?
Okay, this is what I have to say. Because this is a good conversation. I'm glad we're having a conversation. But I'm just so frustrated with my people in general. First of all, I agree with everything that you said and everything, not the last caller, but the caller before her, everything that she said, I agree with everything that you guys said. This is my take on it. I feel like us as a people, we are so desperate and thirsty, and we are literally prostituting ourselves as a people. We are prostituting who we are as a people for this validation and this acceptance for what?
Mm-hmm.
For what? And I just want us to stop doing it. For example, this thing that goes on social media, every time somebody that's not black does something that's quote unquote black, all in the comments, what do we see? Oh, he invited to the cookout. Oh, she invited to the cookout. Oh, they coming to the cookout.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we do that? I hate that, and I wish we would stop doing that. And the thing is, if the caller who called earlier, she made a comment and said that, oh, well, if these people weren't embracing our culture, we'll be mad. No. The problem is not people embracing our culture. We want respect. We want respect for who we are. Embracing our culture does not mean that you go and emulate and duplicate and try to be something that you're not. That's not embracing us as a culture. Embracing us as a culture is being accepting of us and giving us respect. That's it. And also, she said something about people in the comments keep talking about this whole thing with lineage. Here's the thing. Listen to me. If you take a black woman and a black man and they produce a child, they're going to produce a black child, correct? Now, if you take, and this is no shade, and I'm not trying to bash her, but if you take Cardi B, an Offset's child, if you take her, she is now a mixed baby. Mm-hmm. If she decides when she grows up to produce with a Chinese man, mm-hmm. and then that child decides to reproduce with a white man, and so on and so on, guess what happens? Offset is no longer nowhere on the planet.
Mm.
That's the problem. So we need to stop this acting like, oh, everybody is black. Oh, it's all about your lineage. Because if it was all about your lineage, we wouldn't need these DNA tests like Evelyn said that she took to find out what her heritage is. If it was all about lineage, you would just know who you are. If we stop mixing and stop trying to duplicate ourselves with people that are not of our nature, we wouldn't need these tests, now would we, to figure out who our ancestors were. If we stuck to who we're supposed to stick to, mm-hmm. we'll just be who we are.
Absolutely.
And another example of that is Juju. Juju, she goes, and this is no shade to her, but she has this thing where she's a black Cuban. No, you're not. You're black. But what happened was, back during slavery, you got dropped off in Cuba. Your people got dropped off in Cuba. It's not that you're a black Cuban. Just like us here, we're black Americans. No, we're not. We're black. We're African. So, and just even with you saying I'm a black Cuban, that's two different.
Y'all know you're frustrated. Relax, caller.
I'm happy. I'm happy we're having a conversation, but it's just so sad. It's really just so sad how ignorant and how stupid we are as a people, and how we just, like I said, we're just prostituting ourselves, and we're going around begging people to come into. Just think of us if we were a system. If we were a system, we're literally going around begging people to come in. Oh, come in and let us show you who we are. And
but they don't do that to us. They don't do that to us. They don't do that to us, though. But then at the same time,
I'm saying we do that.
Yeah, but then at the same time, well, how can you be mad when the only people that will support you are Latinos, and in most cases, other white people. Black people don't even really support each other. So it's a catch-22 because then it's like you got the Hispanic people that'll support you more than the black people.
But that's the thing. Like that's the issue with us as a people. We don't accept ourselves. We only accept. Well, that's where the validation comes in at. We only want to be black if it's acceptable. Mm-hmm. If we're appreciated, if we're acknowledged, then everything is all good.
Yes.
And I just wish we would stop doing that, because just us as a people, we're just the laughing stock of all nationalities and heritage and culture and all that. We're just like the laughing stock. And nobody else on the planet has to even debate about who they are but us.
Right.
This conversation doesn't go on in anybody else's household but black people.
Thank you, caller.
Because we're so confused about who we are.
Bye.
But thank you.
All right.
Have a good night. Bye.
Oh, child, we got into some things today. We went a little over. Listen, if anybody else has anything to say, you will have to super chat your last four, or we're going to wrap it up. But yes, so this was a very good conversation. I'm glad we had the conversation. Maybe we'll do a part 2. However, I want to say thank you to everybody who chimed in and came for the conversation. I got some things that I'm working on here on this end. So I'll be looking for other creators soon that maybe want to host a show. I may have some opportunities for you all coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that, for other people looking to host a show. We are going to be working on some things. So listen, I love you guys all. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. If you guys would like to book a listening appointment for your music, visit me at thearmonwigginshow.com, and you can book your session there. And you can book a bunch of different sessions there, actually. We can get into some things. So listen, I love you guys all. And I think I've gotten to everyone. All right, y'all. Until next time, I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye. Tell me pretty lies. Look me in the face. Tell me that you love